What's up, everybody? Welcome to the FILA Sports Podcast. That's Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast, where two hometown guys give you a hometown take on the hometown sports, the hometown being Atlanta. It's your boy, Coach Mario, and I'm here with my partner, the Don. What's up, man?
What's good, man? How y'all doing this evening? Come holler at your hometown sports podcast. This episode 5. So it's pretty much gonna be a month since we started this.
Dang, for real?
Yeah.
It
Feel like
seemed longer.
Yeah, well, I don't even know about longer. Well, in a way it do, but it felt like we just started last week, to be honest with you.
Dang, yeah, 5. I guess, yeah, you're right. I'm over here counting, yeah, because we did 2 in 1 week when we had the big cut.
Yep.
Yeah. Dang.
Yep, you're right.
So pretty much we had a slow week this week in Atlanta sports. Not much happened. We only have really one sport that's going on right now, which is basketball. Um, Pretty much the Hawks coming off All-Star break. What were we 1-2 last week? 1-2 last week.
No, we was 1-1. We only played 2 games. We
1-1.
they played Friday night against Detroit. They lost 122 to 125. And then yesterday, we played the Suns and we won 120 to 112. I was at that game yesterday. It was great. I thought we was going to end up losing, but they came back in the fourth quarter and they played well. I give to Trae Young, Bemby. Especially Bemby, he had a great game yesterday. So, far as I know, this is my first time going to the new Phillips Arena, State Farm Arena, whatever you want to call it. It's nice. You could walk around the entire bowl now because I remember last time I went, you could only walk parts of it because they had that section blocked off for the I guess the creme de la creme. But now they I guess converted that area now to the general public because I sat in that area yesterday too. So that was a great I guess vibe. And the food wasn't that much. I took my son with me. We pretty much spent $15 and we got a lot of food and we got the souvenir cups. Souvenir cups, they're gonna cost a lot of money anyway. But it was great. It was great. And one negative thing I could take away from that game yesterday, my experience is we're gonna talk about it later on. This pretty much is gonna be our focal point for the show. So so the Hawks is 1-1 this week. Braves spring training started this week. They played today. They lost against the Houston Astros 2-5. So I guess it's spring training. I'm not really concerned about it. The only concern I have with the Braves is the bullpen. I've been saying this for the past couple of years. We're not going to win any championships if we don't get this bullpen addressed. So we got
And while we're on the bullpen, you see we have Kimbrel, who is not coming off that salary that he wants, and right now he remains unsigned. And I guess the Braves are a player, but I suppose we're not trying to pay the tag that he's asking. Well, no team is. It looks like right now. So Craig Kimbrel is still on the market. Still on the market right now.
Well, the longer he waits, and I don't know, because they saying Philadelphia might end up signing. They saying Philadelphia is gonna try to throw a lot of money because Bryce Harper, he's up there right now trying to negotiate a deal with them. So, but either way, if they snatch those 2 players up, I still don't see them winning the East. I really still don't see them winning it.
Yeah, I mean, who you see if not the Braves, the Mets?
No, I say it's either us or Washington. even if Bryce Harper, yes, he's gone from the Nationals, but the Nationals still got a good core.
I mean, that's the thing about baseball too. Predicting who will win the division, you can, because who saw the Braves emerging last year?
Yeah,
Last year, nobody saw the Braves coming out and doing what they're doing. No expert before the season picked the Braves, and that young talent, won 20 to 30 more games than anybody was expecting.
yeah. We got
And
hot
you,
at the right moment. I tell people like you can win like 90% of your, or not 90%, but you can win 70% of your games in the first, like before All-Star break, and you can end up losing a lot of games after All-Star break. It all depends on how you play in August and September. You can play well down the stretch, you can make the playoffs. And you can have a long run in the playoffs as well. So, but on
uh,
another topic, go ahead.
um, we did have one other team in action last week. That's the Legends. We're struggling a little bit with our AAFL team. We hadn't cracked the win column yet. We're 0-3 now. We lost today at home. Last week we lost to San Diego. Last Sunday, we didn't lose until after the podcast, so that happened after. So Atlanta Legends have lost twice since we last done the show.
Yeah.
So seem to be struggling a little bit there, but hopefully they'll right the ship. What is it, 10 games? We're 0-3, so I would imagine that if you want to go to the playoffs, you're going to have to win at least 6 or 7 of your games. So then Atlanta Legend better get hot, or they're going to miss the postseason here in the first year of the league.
Well, you gotta look at it like this here. You gotta look at all what happened the past few months. All right. Brad Scherzer was hired as head coach. He's gone. Mike Vick was hired as offense coordinator. He's just now a consultant. We supposed to had Murray as the starting quarterback. For some odd reason, I guess the coaching staff don't want him to be the starting quarterback. They have a lot of, I guess, trust in Matt Sims. And these 3 games right here, like, oh man, just not, he does not look good at all. You know, I don't understand why are we still having him? Like, why they still having him start? But can't blame everything on Sims, because our defense is horrible. We cannot, pass rush at all. So it's just, it's growing pains. That's what I'm saying. It's just growing pains. But
Yeah.
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 But
Hopefully they'll right the ship.
yeah,
Not too much to say about them, right?
they will. If they don't win next week, they might as well just call it the season and just look how they can rebuild next year. Like I say, it's growing pains. They got a new coach. They had to find another offensive coordinator. Then for some reason they did a quarterback switch. So all that right there, it's pretty much telltale of why they 0-3 right now. But on another note, Atlanta United has started the I'm trying to say this right, CONCACAF Championship League.
CONCACAF.
Yeah, CONCACAF. Yes, I guess it's something dealing with the North American Cup or something like that.
We're both soccer novices, so I only know what I've been reading. I just know I equate it to some type of preseason tourney. That's pretty important.
Well, no, this is not preseason. I think this something ties in with the World Cup, I believe.
I
Right.
I don't know how any of this stuff works.
Yeah, but I think other teams like other countries within the North American market of other soccer teams, they play each other for a cup, I believe. But they played in Costa Rica. They played a team called Hernando, and we lost 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3-1. You know, it's looking at it like this. It hasn't been really a good week in Atlanta sports, but hopefully they play again. They play them again in the second leg. I believe this Thursday. So, but the thing is, they have to score at least 3 points. They got to get 3 goals in order to win against this team.
Yeah, and that's the part that I definitely have to get my knowledge up on the points. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not quite sure how the points work. So I definitely need to increase my knowledge on just how all that works. Because like I say, soccer is supposedly the most popular sport in the world, and it's taking over Atlanta. So I definitely need to
Yeah.
get my knowledge up.
Well, anytime they do championships, like they have legs. All right, they play one leg in one sports market and the other leg in the other sports market. And I
Okay.
believe it's if whoever scores the most goals in both those games, they end up winning that round and they go to the next round. I remember when we played the Red Bull in the Eastern
Yeah.
championship before we went to the MLS Cup to play Portland.
Yeah, we
We
just
won
couldn't
the
lose
first.
by 4 or something.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, we won the first leg, and the second leg we lost that game. However, the Red Bull did not score enough points to either match or did better than our first game. So therefore, we won that. We won the championship, the Eastern Championship. So it's all. I ain't gonna say it's weird, but hey, you know that's the rules. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people who listening right now, you know, they don't know neither. So, you know, but we're gonna have some special guests coming on next month to, I guess, educate us and to, you know, give their experts on how, you know, MLS rules are, or, soccer rules are, you know, because I haven't played soccer since elementary school, so it's been a while for me.
I've never been on a organized soccer team. That's one sport that I never played.
One sport I ain't never played was hockey. Cause they ain't got hockey rinks in Atlanta, so I played almost every sport you could think of, and yeah, but
Yeah, not a
oh
hockey guy myself either.
yeah, well when the Thrashers was in town, I went to a lot of Thrashers games because you know they in the inner city, you know they gave away free tickets, so
Yeah,
you already know they give up. You know it's a way to get out the hood, so. Hey, they giving us free tickets. You know, I'm gonna go to a Thrashers
yeah,
game.
of course. Hey, anything free, I'm taking care of, taking
Exactly.
advantage of. Yeah.
It's better than send in the house or send on the street, you know.
And I guess that leads us to today's topic, and it is one that I am pretty
Well,
passionate about.
we got to go over the Falcon stuff first. Like
Oh,
no,
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
so
What do we have this week?
Stephen Means was extended to a 1-year contract. Um, a lot of people were kind of concerned about this or scratching their head. I think this is a great move for depth purposes. And Stephen Means he played well for us. You know, he's a rotational player. You know, a lot of people saying, oh, they ain't signing everybody else, but they ain't signing they're not signing Grady Jarrett. Like Grady Jarrett is trying to get what 16, 18 mil. I'm pretty sure Stephen Means is I don't want to but he's getting 3-4 mil, probably not even that much. But people gotta understand you getting the smaller contracts out the way first, and then you sign your bigger contracts.
And we had one other signing as well. Bleedy Ray Wilson, bringing a cornerback back, a backup cornerback. He signed a 1-year tender as well, and looks like he'll be staying with the team at least one more year.
And
A
then we
little
also
depth.
signed Ty Sambrello to a 3-year contract extension. So he can
Very
earn up.
incentive laden. Yep. Very incentive laden. His contract was.
Yeah, so he's only getting paid 4 or 5 mil, something like around that for the first year, and then it goes up after that. But that's, I guess, how the way they structured the contract is great, because if he doesn't do well this year, we can cut him and we won't have that much dead cap, you know.
Exactly.
So, but a lot of
And if
people,
he
you know,
performs,
what'd you say?
yeah, and if he performs, there's opportunity for him to make up, I believe, make up to 6 million or something like that. So, you
Exactly.
know, a lot coming off of injury. So basically, Falcons protected themselves just to make sure that that he is healthy and able to come back in and possibly start for us this year.
Yeah, a lot of people got to understand, we're not signing him. People thinking that, oh, you signing this much for a backup on tackle. He's not going to be a backup tackle, you guys, okay? He's coming in. I believe he's got signed this much money because he's going to end up taking Ryan Schrader's job. I don't really see, I'm looking at it now. I don't really see we're going to end up bringing Ryan Schrader back. You know, if we do, they're going to either restructure his contract or, you know, we bring him back. It's going to be, he's going to be
He could be
competing for his
cut during
spot.
camp. Yeah, or he could
Yeah,
always be cut during camp too.
he can be cut during camp, or we can end up trading him. You know, we can easily end up trading him. But I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade Ryan Schrader because, you know, Sark didn't help him out last year. You know, it was just a horrible year for him. And my thing is, him and Ty Sabrello, you know, you have two tackles who can pretty much do the job, you know. Because looking at it right now, who can we draft in the first 2 rounds that can take over right tackle besides Cody Ford? And I think Cody Ford is going to be taken earlier than 14. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
And Jonah Williams is not a right tackle. He's a left tackle, and you cannot move a left tackle to right tackle. If you do that, you got to give him time to develop. You got to give him time to learn that spot. And we do not have that much time to be playing around with first round draft picks, you know. So, other small news in Falcons, I guess, news world. Blank buys a $180 million yacht. You know, a lot of people, I guess, salivating over this news. My thing is, it's his money. He can enjoy it. It don't have nothing to do with the Falcons. It ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta United. That's, I guess, his, you know, he's worth billions of dollars. So, hey, your thoughts?
Buy a boat. I mean, that's like you said, AB money. Buy what you want to buy. Don't bother me at all.
Everybody, you know, some people, well, he's spending all this money and the Falcons ain't that good. My take on that is, look, when y'all get y'all taxes back, do people be in y'all business on what y'all buy? Buying what? 5 doggone Emerson flat screen TVs that only work for what, 8 months? So let the man, you know, it's his money, let him enjoy it, you know. And Orlando Ledbetter. Oh man, this man get on my nerves with the stuff he be putting out. Yes, this man projected Baker out of UGA, this cornerback, out of UGA to be the first round pick for the Falcons.
The Falcons taking a cornerback in the first round got a lot of legs this week. It's wait and see. You you never know. And this organization, like I said last week, has showed that they're willing to step outside of the box on draft. So I have fun with all the projections and everything. I think it's all fun, all good conversation, all good sports talk. But nobody really knows. But most people are thinking that we're going defensive front in that first round. So that seems to be the consensus thought. But the organization hadn't come out and told us which way they're leaning, so we haven't seen which players pro day that the Falcons will have a heavy presence at. We haven't seen any of that thing yet. So like I said, it's all speculation right now. It's all just talk.
Well, only thing you have to do is really look at the cap right now.
Mhm.
And you got to also think about this here as well. Our biggest problem right now is D line and at guard, left guard on offensive line. Okay. Do we really have the money? Do we really have the money to sign in free agency a top 5 defensive tackle, defensive end?
Mm.
All right.
No.
Now, also you got to look at history too. History will tell you the past few years we normally get like seasoned guards or seasoned like offensive linemen to come play for us. You know, so it any money that we spend in free agency is going to be on offensive line or it's going to be a special teams player.
Yeah,
All right,
I
because
agree.
we don't have the money right now to sign anybody.
To just go shopping willy nilly.
Exactly, we just don't have it. We just don't, and we still got to pay Grady Jarrett, and they talking about paying Julio Jones as well. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the situation is going to be with Vic Beasley or Bruce Irvin. So, but like, yeah, what Ledbetter said right now, I just like every year he wants us to draft UGA players, and I think that's his, you know, I won't want to say formula, but that's just he uses that because he know he's in Atlanta is pretty much UGA country, for
Mm-hmm.
college town, and I guess he writes stuff to get people to read his stuff. So he know what he doing, but at the same time, like have common sense when you write stuff. You know, that's all I'm asking.
And like I say, it's clickbait because people know that we lost the starting corner, so we must be drafting another big time corner. So like I said, it is partially clickbait, definitely.
Yeah, even though we got what we have, True, we have Isaiah Oliver, and we got Casey. You know,
Mm-hmm.
only problem I see or question mark we see as far as the DBs go if Allen's going to be back week 1 because Achilles tear whatever he had that's different from tearing an ACL in your knee.
Mm-hmm.
That's your foot. Your Achilles that's like your heel, your foot.
Yeah.
You can't really walk on that if it ain't healed. So
So I guess the topic for today was by partially sparked by your trip to the Phillips Arena this yesterday. What did you observe when you went to the arena that you shared with me already?
well, I'm a diehard Atlanta sports fan. All right. Anytime I go to a game, I normally get out there and be in my seat like an hour before any game starts to just get a feel for everything. Go get my food and drink and stuff. Before the lines get too long and the concourse get too packed. But I went to a game yesterday. We know the Hawks is not having a good year. We know why. We are in rebuild mode. We're tanking. Well, they're not. I'm not even saying they tanking because they win in more games than we expect. All right. And Trae Young is having a great rookie season. So, but the problem I saw yesterday was the arena wasn't even halfway packed. Like, I kid you not. If you take everybody off the 300, everybody that was sitting in like the top bowl part,
Mm-hmm.
the 300 level,
Mm-hmm.
and you take the people in the 200 level, and you put all those people in the 100 area level, the lower bowl. I promise you'll still have extra seats in the 100 bowl.
Mm. And it's one of those things where should you support the team regardless of the record, regardless of the product, or do you say that, hey, this isn't a product right now that I'm willing to support, so I'm not spending my money? I do see both sides of it. Um, in a city like Atlanta, if we're winning, they're gonna come. Because when we had the highlight factory several years ago, we had Al, Josh, uh, Bibby, that whole Joe Johnson, that whole little, that little gang right there. We had a little playoff run for several years. People were coming to the games. People were coming to the games. I went to several games back then myself, and the feel for the city because you got to think Atlanta is a social city, so the game is going to become a social event. When the team is winning, you're going to see the celebrities there. You're going to see people congregating. Like I said, when the team is not winning, especially a team like the Hawks, that's a social city, we tend to stay away from the games.
Well, there was some celebrities there last night. I seen Chris Tucker and his I guess his wife last
Hmm.
night. But you gotta look at it like this here. Atlanta United, when they first played, and they first played at Bobby Dodd Stadium because Mercedes Benz wasn't ready yet. They
Hmm.
packed the stadium, and I know a lot of people saying, "Well, that's a new team," and people wanted to support the new team, and it was a buzz. It was a
Hmm.
new thing, a new feeling in town, and people wanted to support it. But at the same time, why are we not having the same energy with Atlanta Legends? That's a new team, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
My thing is, if you show the world or you show the country, you show the league that we are all in with our team, we are heavily invested in our team. I promise you, we'll get more respect. I promise you, we'll get more respect.
I believe so as well. And I've said this several times when we're talking about Atlanta sports. Atlanta is still a new city. Atlanta is a transplant plant city. Majority of the people who live in the metro, well, I'm sorry, a large part of the people who live in the metro Atlanta area aren't from here. So the Atlanta sports teams aren't the teams that they grew up loving. And especially when you talk about teams that, well, the Atlanta sports teams, they came about in the city of Atlanta in the 70s or 60s. So we don't have teams that where I say this all the time. You have several cities where people's grandads were fans of the team. We don't have that here in Atlanta because the city isn't old enough. I talk about my dad when the Falcons came to Atlanta. My dad was 20 years old. My dad was an Indiana Colts fan growing up because the Falcons wasn't here. So therefore,
You mean the Baltimore Colts
I'm
fan?
sorry, Baltimore Colts. Exactly. Yes. So obviously, my granddad wasn't an Atlanta Falcons fan. The Atlanta Falcons didn't exist when my granddad was a child. So I didn't grow up rooting for the team that my granddad did. Whereas you can do that in cities like New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, where their sports teams are old. Atlanta, we're still a new city, so there's not that built-in love like my kids can grow up and say, "Hey, my dad was a Falcons fan." My grandkids would be able to say that. I wasn't able to say that. I don't know who my granddad was a fan of actually, and this topic came up around Christmas time, and me and my dad was talking about it, and my dad told me, "Yeah, when I was growing up, Baltimore Colts was my team. Falcons didn't come. Till I was 20 years old."
Well, my granddad, when we talking about granddads now, my granddad, he was around, because he was born in the 30s, so he was around 30 something. He was older than your grandfather, I believe, when the Falcons came in town. Thing is, he was a Falcons fan. He was a Falcons fan. My mom, she's a diehard Falcons fan, and everybody in my family are Falcons fans. We're
Yeah.
Falcons fans. We're Braves fans. We're Hawks fans. We're fans of every Atlanta or Georgia team. I'm like the only oddball as far as college goes because I have my family is either the Bulldogs fans or they Tech fans. I'm neither one. I'm a Michigan fan. So hey,
Uh,
this,
that's another show topic one
yeah,
day.
yeah, exactly. So, but other than that, like you you supposed to support, supposed to rep your city and rep your teams, like yes, I'm the one that's gonna admit that when the Braves back in the West, after '06, when we had that division run, I was still going to the games, and I was in college. Every summer I came down, every summer I came back home because I went to school in Missouri. Every summer I came home in '07, '08, '09, all right, I still went to Braves games, even though they were horrible those years. All right. They was horrible those years. I still went to those games. I still went to Hawks games. I went to Thrasher games when they was horrible. All right. Like it's you have to I tell people this all the time. If you want the media to rally behind us and to give us the respect that we deserve, we have to start respecting our own teams. That means yes, we got to go out and show support. Go buy a ticket, take your family there and support the team. Ups and downs. I'm just saying it's ups and downs. You there with the good times, you there for the bad times. That what makes you a real fan. That's what separates us from Green Bay. That's what separates us from Cleveland. You look at teams like that, like Cleveland and Buffalo, like they've been sorry for a long time, but they fans still go to the games. They stadiums be packed.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that comes with the generational fan bases built in with the love. And like I say, with us being a transplant city, I don't think that our residents just have the love of the hometown teams. When the teams are doing well, we're going to support because of the social issue, but because us look, the reason we started this podcast, guys who are from here who have grown up with these teams, we're a minority. I mean, you've already talked about this. We're a minority. Like, it's hard for me to even go to work and just be in the office asking around about, hey, you remember back when we drafted Dion? And guys like, yeah, I do, but I wasn't here. Yeah, I remember watching it from New York. Yeah, I remember watching it when I grew up in Florida. Those guys didn't. They weren't from here. They're not from Atlanta. They're not from Decatur. They're not from Marietta. They moved here. So you notice when you go in the mall in Atlanta and you buy sports gear, you're gonna find a ton. You're gonna find a ton of Falcons gear. You can find a ton of Braves gear, but you can find a ton of other sports teams gear. When you go to malls in other cities, some cities, it's not like that. You find the gear for that hometown team. You you can't go in the mall in Green Bay and buy a Texans jersey.
I hold on. I gotta stop you there, man. I gotta stop you there because I've lived in so many places,
You have.
and like let me tell you, the top we since we talking about NFL teams, okay, you gonna no matter where you go in these 50 states, you always gonna find a Pittsburgh. You're gonna find 49ers. You're gonna find
Cowboys.
Patriot stuff. You're gonna find Cowboy stuff, and you're gonna find Raiders stuff. Those are
Yep.
your 5 teams who carries, who gonna have a lot of their apparel or merchandise in no matter where you go, because they have a huge fan base.
I
But
agree with that.
like even when I say to Mississippi, that's Saint. It's supposed to be Saints country. Man, I saw so many Texas jerseys, Cowboys, 49ers, even Titan stuff. I saw some Falcon stuff too. You know, it all depends. It all depends. Yes, the market. Yes, whatever market you stay in. Yes, they're going to supply that primary market stuff. But they also going to look at, okay, well, the Steelers have a huge fan base, so we'll sell Steelers stuff, or the Patriots will sell Patriot stuff too. So It's not necessarily if you go to New England, they just go sell New England stuff because they sell. I'm pretty sure they sell Patriot. I'm pretty sure they sell Steelers stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, it's so close. Yeah, yeah, so close. Pittsburgh. Yeah.
But
But like I say, when you go to the mall in Atlanta, you can find a wide array of teams. And like I say, every mall, like I say, you got some teams y'all gonna have, but some of those obscure teams, you can't find stuff like that. You go in Lenox Mall, man, you can get a hat or apparel for just about any team. Just about any team that you want.
yeah,
Yeah. But we do get a bad rap as a bad sports town. But like I say, I think it's because of when you talk about Atlanta sports, the hometown Atlanta people are diehard and do support. But we have so many people in the city that aren't from here that support their other teams, which I understand. Because if I move to another city, I'm still going to be an Atlanta sports fan, so I do understand it. But I think that the rap that we get in bad sports town, I think it's just I don't think that it's accurate when you base it on the population of Atlanta and us knowing that the people who live here aren't from here.
yeah. I kind of agree with you. I'm not agreeing with you fully because there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of people. I don't even like if I stayed in Atlanta right now. I kid you not, I will go. I won't go to all the games because you gotta realize like you just don't have time. Like all the now Falcons game, I only wait 8 of them, so I know I go to all 8
Mhm.
of those. But like far as Braves games and Hawks games, you just that's not it's not feasible for me to go. Like it's just I don't have extra time
Yeah,
like that. But I know I go to at least 30% of their game on the
yeah,
seat easily.
yeah.
But what I got to say is one thing these PSLs and
Hmm.
seat license and stuff, it's killing us, man. It's killing us. A
Definitely.
lot of people, it's a business, man. It's really a business because a lot of people who buying these seats and buying these season tickets, they're not buying them because they fans. They buying them because it's a business. And then what they
And
do is they try to sell, they try to make profits off those tickets as well. So when they selling them, they're not really caring if who they selling them to. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not selling them to a Falcons fan or a Hawks fan or a Braves fan. They selling to somebody who just, who has the highest bid on their ticket so they can generate more profit for their return.
and with the advance of televisions now getting bigger and cheaper, there's so many ways to enjoy the game at home. So they're pricing the casual fan, they're pricing them out. It's just like I say, I have a family of five. So to me, to go to any of the sports venues with my family of five, and for us to sit down, I'm like you, I like to get there early. I like to have all of my food and refreshments in my seat. I'm a guy who likes to watch warm ups, shoot around, warm ups, whatever BP, whatever they're doing, whatever sport it is. I'm one of those guys too. Um, my family of five, for us to go and do that, that's a nice penny, especially when you're talking about a Falcons game. The Braves aren't as much because you can, catch a ticket during the week for $3, $4, 10 less than $10 for a Braves ticket during the week for an opponent that's struggling, which in baseball, 80 games, of course, you're going to get that. But uh, it's not just like on a whim, hey guys, want to go to the movies, and the movies are expensive now too, so that's a bad example. But just on a whim, like, hey, you guys want to go to the game tonight? No, your family has to do some budgeting and planning because it's a financial investment.
Everything is expensive these days, man.
Yeah,
Everything, no matter what you even going into the skating ring, is expensive. You know, let's just call it a spade a spade.
yeah,
Like yes, taking my son to the Hawks game, yeah, I had to crunch numbers and do all this and that. But hey, I'm all for it, because I love the Hawks. Even though yes, they struggling this year. Yes, I know that. but at the same time, I'm still going to support the team. And I know there's a lot of people in Atlanta who are Hawks fans who are United. Well, like I said, we can't really use United as an example
Mm-hmm.
because those people, they're going to support the team. That's what we need to model. Every other sports team in the city, they need to model how United, how they go out and they support Atlanta United. You know, when they pack that stadium, 70,000 people on certain games. So sometimes we know they drape the top bowl and then they only have what 30 or 40 people in it. But
Mm-hmm.
when they 70,000 strong in that stadium, that creates a hostile environment for the opponent.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, if you available to go to the games, go to the games support. Because if we can just imagine this, if we can have 15,000 strong in State Farm, okay, State Farm Arena, all right, that will create a hostile environment for any opponent to come there and try to beat the Hawks. Imagine that, at SunTrust, 40,000 people. I don't know how big the stadium is. I want to say 35, 30, 40, something like that. I don't.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm still thinking of turning field numbers, but that'll create a hostile environment for the Braves. And I remember growing up, when I was going to the Braves, because I lived like a half a block away from Turner Field, Fulton County
Mm-hmm.
Stadium, and I went to a lot of games. And those games was packed. And every time opponent came up the bat, I'm telling you, the stadium was rocking. We was loud, we was disrespectful, we was doing everything we can to give the Braves an advantage to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing with the Falcons. We can pack Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like we can be like Seattle. We can be like shoot. I hate to say it like this. We can be like New Orleans. Can't this? I'm not finna sit up here, and play like New Orleans is not a factor. Those fans are a factor when you play there.
And there's a difference too. New Orleans. I'm sorry, New Orleans. You guys have a few restaurants, but New Orleans doesn't give you the entertainment options that Atlanta does. So in Atlanta, there's much more to do with your $100 that you're gonna go. Basically, you're gonna spend $100 if you're gonna go to the game, buy a ticket, park, eat good. I mean,
But
so
I want some
Atlanta.
people to look up this. All right, we're gonna do our homework and
Okay.
we're gonna post it sometime this
Okay.
week. We're gonna compare a Saints ticket to a ticket here in Atlanta. I kid you not. I put this on everything I love. It's nowhere near close. I'm pretty sure New Orleans Saints tickets are cheaper than going to a game in the Falcons. Gotta be. One,
I would imagine so.
What'd you
I,
say?
I would I would say I would imagine so because the just the district that the Superdome is in, and they've tried to make it a little party district down there, but just the area that the Superdome is in cannot compete with the area with the Mercedes Benz in, just what they've done with the area. So when you're talking about going to the Falcons game, you're talking about an event, whereas you're going to the game, you're gonna go to the game and then you're gonna go over to that little side street second line, and you're gonna take you behind home. Whereas Falcons game, no. You're gonna go over here, you're gonna hang out, you're gonna eat after the game, you're gonna hang out, then you're gonna go downtown, you're gonna it's a whole social event. Whereas, you know, New Orleans, it isn't like that. Like I say, you're gonna second line, you're gonna go to the game, you go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. So this is what I would like to do. In addition to not just the Saints, I actually like that as well. I would like people to this week. Let's put it on Twitter and your hometown team. Let's see how much to take your family out to the game and enjoy refreshments. How much is that ticket in your city? I like that. I want to know that. How much is that ticket for each city for you to
So
go?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been to SunTrust Park. Their food is expensive,
Hmm.
so you better eat. They have options outside of the stadium because it's pretty much a town versus a stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been there before, but they got like
Hmm.
a lot of like retail, a lot of restaurants like right outside the
Around.
stadium that you can go to before and after the game. And you better off just going somewhere to eat before the game outside the stadium. And then when you go in the stadium, only thing I bought when we went, I got something to drink because it's hot. You going to a game in June or
Oh,
July, or you gonna
yeah.
burn up. You go buy you something to drink.
I'm a guy that if I go to the game, I know that I'm going to spend because my wife and I, for years when we would go to the Falcons game, I would used to go in the CNN Center, and depending on what my budget was like that week, what we would eat. So CNN Center had plenty of options. Some days we were on the cheap, so we go Wendy's, and I mean I could literally eat four double stacks and a fry. And I mean, I'm stuffed. I mean, I am stuffed, and a big drink. And I mean, my stomach is stuffed. And for people who don't know, you're talking about walking the equivalent of two football fields from CNN Center to the Dome. So you walk two football fields, and as soon as I get in the Dome, the smells will hit me, and I want something to eat. I don't understand it. It is the smells at the stadium. So I'm a good night guy. When I go to the stadium, I know I'm gonna bring a food budget because the smells are gonna get me, man. I have to have it. I don't know what it is, man. I could be stuffed, but the minute I step into the stadium and those stadium smells hit me, I gotta get something. I don't know what it is, man.
Trust me, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about because the nachos, man, they be hitting. I'm telling you. So I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
You
But
know
yeah,
what?
but we go.
I
That's
got a
what we
good
go.
show topic. I got another show topic that we can do. We're gonna have to write down.
Uh,
Great stadium food from your city. Stadium food. What's some of the best food in the stadium that your particular team has to offer? That'd be a good topic one day.
yeah, one day we still, we still a local podcast, so as if we have other teams follow other people from other. But we have some people that's Falcons fans, but they also fans of other teams, like
Hmm.
other sports teams. Like they may be a Falcons fan, but they probably a Yankees fan,
Yep,
or they might be a Lakers fan. So we have people like that.
we do. I just thought of two when you instantly said that.
But
Yankees
KP,
fans,
yeah,
KB. Yep,
he ain't
and
coming on.
yeah,
He
and my
not coming.
homegirl Mika. Yeah, my homegirl Mika is a Falcons fan, and she's a Yankees fan. I tease her all the time. Mika on Twitter, tease her all the time because she's from Queens, but she has family from Alabama all the time. So I tell her all the time she's from New York, Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get a question. Well, one person wrote us about
Hmm.
it's a question that he wanted. His name Spencer off Twitter.
Spence.
Yes, our number one fan. He said, "What are the realistic expectations for the Falcons free agency?" We just pretty much went over that. The only thing we're gonna really do is get a guard and some special teams players. That's about it.
Yeah.
Um,
When
Go ahead.
when people ask about free agency, they a lot of times they're asking, "Hey, what's the splash? What's going to be the sexy guy we're going to bring in?" We are not getting that guy. We're not getting the splash guy. We're not getting the sexy guy. We're getting guys that are going to be solid, that are going to help us fill our needs, but we're not going to get a guy with a big name that everybody's heard of. Because one, like I said, we're shopping for guards, and how many guards have you heard of? First of all, and two, like I said, we just don't have the money to go big spending like that. Our big name guys are already on our roster. Matt, Julio, Free, Grady, Devontae, uh, Keanu, those guys, they're already on the roster. So, we already have those guys. So if you guys looking for a splash in free agency, it's just not going to happen this time. Uh, Other things are what do we think is going to happen with Vic Beasley? There's about 5, 6 scenarios that I'm seeing that I think will happen with Vic Beasley. Um, Personally, I don't know. Being honest, uh, I don't know, and the reason I say that is going back to last week. We 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 want to shore up our line, and we don't have a ton of cash to do it. So we're going to have to be creative. There's going to be more cuts. Somebody else is going to get cut or released. Um, it's just so hard right now, man, because we know that we have those top D linemen in the draft. So it's you think we could fix it there. And you think if we draft the top D lineman, are we going to keep Vic? I just don't know. My partner last week, he seems to think that we're going to package the picks and Vic Beasley and basically we're going to trade Vic Beasley is what a lot of people think. I can see that as well, but I actually don't think the decision is 100% made. Well, we know it's not made because we haven't seen the contract talk, but I don't think they know yet. I don't think the Falcons know yet, so there's no way that we could know yet. So I'm interested. Please hit us up on Twitter and let us know what you think the Falcons will do um, with Vic Beasley. Um, uh, Other questions on Twitter were I saw this week about backup quarterback. What are we going to do with backup quarterback? Don't think we're going to bring back Matt Schaub at, is it 8 mil a year? If I'm wrong, somebody will blast me on Twitter telling me I'm wrong. Everybody loves to do that. Nobody ever says, "Hey, you were so right." Um, I don't think we'll bring back Matt Schaub at 8 mil a year just till he was strapped for cash. We need a third quarterback, so we're not sure if Matt Schaub will restructure. I was this week I was actually searching Twitter to find out if see if I can see what Matt see if I can see some quotes from Matt if he announced any intentions for next year. I wasn't able to find anything. So if anybody has found where Matt Schaub that is, has quoted what he would like to do next year, let us know. Uh, I'm just gonna assume Matt loves to be in Atlanta. We don't know, so but we do know that we need the short quarterback. Hopefully, a backup quarterback won't be playing, so it won't matter. Hopefully, we sign a guy for cheap, and we won't ever have to play him, or he'll play in the fourth quarter every game because we're blowing everyone out. But yes, we do have to sign quarterbacks, but we're not going to obviously Matt is our starter. We're going to get two guys to bag Matt up, but if Matt Schaub wills come back, it'll definitely be at a different cap number, a different tender if he does. But yeah, definitely we have to shore up quarterback on the um, on the roster.
Well, y'all need to follow the real Pat Man. He give us great numbers and great like information that's dealing with the Falcons and even around the NFL. He could make comparisons like far as cap goes, top free agencies at their position. I looked at free agency by quarterback. There are some okay quarterbacks who we can sign for a lesser deal than Matt Schaub. Um, that,
Matt was making some decent money for a backup quarterback this year.
he was.
You know,
Man. We still gotta free up some of that cap space, man.
yeah.
Like
And I know
got
quarterbacks get paid, but Matt Ryan doesn't miss games. So Matt Shaw
knock
was
on
paid a
wood.
nice, but
Knock on wood.
exactly, exactly. But with his number, we know he won't be back in Atlanta at that number. We
Yeah,
just can't afford to do it. Yeah.
we just can't. Um, Another question. I know you talked about Spencer's. He asked a question about what do the Hawks need to do to make this team to the next level. We had
That's a pretty easy question.
Devontae Hughes on the show, I guess, a few weeks ago, and he pretty much
Yep.
gave us his insight that we just really a draft away from having our core that we need to be contenders in the East.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to obviously be a player in free agency. The next 2 summers, there are some big names that will be out there. Uh, Plain and simple, we're gonna have to attract one of those guys. Now, we're gonna have to attract those guys or draft a superstar.
Yeah,
Period. But in basketball, if you don't have a superstar, you don't
you
win a
got
championship.
you don't win a
So
championship.
either in the next 2 summers we have to attract the guy that will sign here, or in the next 2 drafts we got to hit it right and get a superstar. We either have to do Golden State and bring in KD, or do Golden State and draft well. So one or the other is
We
got to
have to
happen,
do
or
both.
both,
In my
or
opinion,
both. Yeah,
we have to do both because we can't really depend on anybody in free agency.
yeah,
This team right now, I think is in a good shape. Like I said, we just a draft away from having a good core. Um, it's just the problem with this team right now is, we young. The reason why a lot of people saying, "Well, why did we sign Vince Carter?" We signed Vince Carter for leadership.
exactly.
No,
He's
he's a
doing exactly what we're signing for.
yes,
I happen to know that through insider talks, I'm privy to some insider information that the organization is very happy with Vince Carter, and Vince Carter is doing exactly what they brought him in to do.
exactly,
So Vince Carter is well liked and respected in the locker room, and Vince Carter is doing exactly what he was brought here to do. And I've also heard that Vince is enjoying as well. And I heard this from some very reliable sources who are very close to the team. Yeah.
exactly. All right. Um, and he also did you answer the question about do you expect a learning year for Matt and Dirk?
No, that was the last one we had to get to. Uh, I I want to jump on this one first because I was reading a thread. Some idiot on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you saw it yesterday. Some guy who it was a couple days ago who was a Saints fan, and I mean he was just throwing out fact after fact after fact after fact that was not correct. He was just making stuff up.
It wasn't a fact. It was an opinion. Then
Well, he was throwing it out as fact, and he was wrong. And one of the things he said is that we have a receiver, the best receiver in the league, that has never had double-digit touchdowns. And I said, well, that's actually incorrect. Julio did have double-digit touchdowns under Dirk, and Dirk is back. Uh, I don't think there's going to be a big learning curve because both guys know each other well.
yeah.
Both guys, they both know each other well. I believe there's already a comfort level there. Uh, I don't. I don't think so. Because whatever Dirk is going to ask Matt to do is going to be something that Matt has done before. One, he's done it for this coach before. Plus, Dirk knows Matt very well. knows what Matt likes, what Matt does well. So I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna do. So I'm not expecting this big learning curve or big uh, catching up, getting on the same page. I'm not expecting a whole lot to do with that.
But you got and people got to also think about this too. We brought in Dirk. We brought in what's up
Malarkey.
Malarkey, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mine just go blank sometimes. Brought in
Mm-hmm.
Malarkey. We still have Greg Knapp as the quarterback coach.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put those. You got to put those guys in the equation as well. Like those three guys are going to be bouncing ideas off each other. So it's not going to be like how it was on the Kyle and how it was on the Sark. Oh, we're gonna do this, and everybody, yes, sure, we're gonna do this too. Okay, no, it's gonna be like, okay, well, I have a game plan in place, and Malarkey, he might put his little spin on it, and Grant now he might put his little spin on it, and I can see that it's gonna work out for the best. You know,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
are we gonna have the best offense? Because people want us to score 40, 50 points a game. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and predict that. I'm not going to get my expectations that high. Our thing is what we need to do on offense. We need to run the ball. All right. If we can run the ball, get first downs, and stand drive
yep.
and score. Like if we
Yep.
can score, I say 24 points a game. But we also you got to look at the defense side too. You just can't just look at entirely offense. Our defense was horrible last year.
Yeah.
Yes, we had injuries and everything, but when you can't stop the run, you're not going to win games.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's real simple. How to win
'Cause,
football games: stop the run, run the ball.
yeah, the
You stop
team,
the
the
run,
team that's running the ball,
yeah,
especially if you're running the ball and stopping the run, you're controlling the clock. You're
thank
controlling the clock. You're
thank
controlling the clock. Yeah. And TOP is so time of possession is so important in the game. The other team, one thing you cannot do in football, one thing that, well, I'm sorry, it is one way. There's only one way to score without the ball. And that's a safety. In football, every other time to score, you need the ball. You
you.
need
Yeah,
the ball to score. You have to have the ball to score. So if the other team doesn't get the ball, they can't score. Now, obviously, they can get it on defense. They can return the interception or a fumble or something like that. Don't be a smart ass and send me no dumb messages. But everybody gets the point I'm making. If they don't have the ball, they can't score. Let's
exactly.
play keep away. Let's play keep away.
And
Uh,
that's how you win games. And Stark, he didn't understand that, and he did not feature his running backs in the best way they could. And it didn't work out for him. But I was kind of on the fence of this Carter hire, because when he was here, our run game was pretty much absent, man. Like, but he
yeah,
doesn't have a Steven Jackson this time. He has a Devontae Freeman. He have Edo Smith, and I believe we're going to end up drafting in another running back this draft. So
hmm
he's going to have 2 or 3 good running backs he can use. The thing we got to
yeah,
do is just got to just restructure this O line, and we can do well with that.
yeah.
And he also asked, and do we expect this new offense to have any part of that Shanahan's offense, or would be completely revamped scheme?
I think is a little, we call it the Shanahan offense, but really what it was just a wide open and almost a spread type concept where we're going to flood the field and attack the seams. Um, Yes, Dirk is going to do some of that. Shanahan would ask Matt to move out of the pocket a little bit just to give teams something else to look at because Matt had got the reputation of being statuesque, of just sitting in the pocket. Uh, so I'm sorry, I think I said sorry, but Shanny got Matt outside the pocket a little bit. We know that that's something that Dirk doesn't mind doing as well. So I don't like saying that it's going to be Shanahan esque because he didn't invent it, but I do believe that some of the things that we saw 2 to 3 years ago with Matt, yeah, I do believe we're going to see some of those things. I rather word it like that. Yes,
It's West Coast. It's a West Coast
exactly.
offense. It's not a Shanahan's offense. It's a West Coast offense. The thing about Shanahan is he know what plays to run against certain defenses. All
Yep.
right, that what made him, I guess, good under us. You know,
hmm
um, Sark on the other hand, I'm just being real. He did not study defenses well enough to call plays. Like he went out there and he said, okay, we're gonna run this play. Instead of him taking days or weeks to prepare for an opponent, you know, like Shanahan did, he just went out there and said, okay, well, we go run jet sweep. And we go run this screen. You know, you can't run screens on every team. You can't run jet sweeps on every team. You know, certain teams have like special players on their team. Like they probably have a good D tackle, or they have probably a great offense. They probably have a great outside linebacker, you know, who can, you know, make tackles and shoot gaps better than the other another opponent. So you have to scheme your offense differently for the different team, the different defenses you play. But Sark doesn't. He wasn't experienced. He's very inexperienced, you know. But Carter, you know, you have Carter, you have Malarkey, and you have Knapp. So, like I said before, they're gonna be bouncing ideas off each other's head, and I really think we're gonna be okay on offense. Like, I'm not expecting 30 points to get 30, 40 points a game. Please, guys, don't get your expectations that high. You know, I'm more concerned about getting this defense.
Definitely.
Yeah, the defense really got to like step up this year. We got to get this defense better.
I think that, you know, generally that the general Falcons fan isn't as worried about the offense. They think that if we can shore up the O-line, we'll be okay. I believe most people's focus is on the defense. That's how I feel.
Well, you got some people out there who thinking it's Matt Ryan fault for everything. So
another show. You know, one day we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it one day. We're gonna do the Matt Ryan show. We're gonna call KB. We're gonna call Derek. We're gonna have them on. We're gonna have the Matt Ryan hater show. For y'all Matt Ryan haters, start getting your stats together. Matt Ryan haters, right now, I'm talking to y'all for the next 10 seconds. Start getting your stats together, because we're going to give you an opportunity to tell us why he isn't a good quarterback. And don't tell me just because I don't like him. Give me some data, some breakdown,
give me some facts.
analysis.
I told somebody this before.
Exactly.
Give me some facts to change my mind. If you give me some facts to change my mind, then yes, I will side with you. But other than
say
that,
it louder for the people in the back.
I'm not. You know, you're not going to convince me that Matt Ryan is a horrible quarterback. All
exactly.
Right?
Yep. Not just by popping your gums. You're gonna have to show me. So what my partner said. So y'all Matt Ryan, you know, because on Twitter, my partner and myself, Don, my partner, if y'all don't know what I was talking about, we are in the, you know, Atlanta Falcons Twitter, our DBN Nation. We have Matt lovers and Matt haters. So people will place us in the Matt lovers category. So, you know, I'll take that. Call me a Matt lover, fine. I do like my quarterback. I do like Matt Ryan.
Right.
You know, we're in the Matt lovers, and you know, I don't mind if you're a Matt hater. You can dislike players. There's a beloved Falcons player that I don't particularly care for, that everybody tells me I'm crazy about. Like, you know, why don't you like him? You can do that. I have reasons why I don't like this player. Give me some data. Give me, you know, for this player, there are some scheme things that I didn't think he was able to do that I don't like. Tell me that about Matt. Tell me that about Matt. He can't run. Fine. You know,
quarterback's supposed to pass first.
the winningest quarterbacks ever. We're talking about Super Bowl rings. Didn't run. Matt runs more than them. So, like I said, hey. That's a whole nother show. You see, we're getting passionate already. So that's a whole nother show. So for you guys, get ready for that show. Get yourself ready, because we're gonna do it.
All right. We want to take our time out, and we want to thank everybody who supported us these past 4 weeks. You know, we got this off the ground. But like the week before the Super Bowl. And you know, we up to 31 subscribers on YouTube, and we have over 100, I guess, followers on Twitter now on our FILA Sports Podcast. So without you guys, we pretty much won't be recording right now. But we really appreciate you guys for the support. Anytime you guys, have any questions or y'all have any advice on how to make our show better, please, throw suggestions our way. I can take constructive criticism. I'm pretty sure Coach can take it as well. Because once again, we do the show for you guys. We don't just do it for us. We do it for everybody. Who's a fan of any Atlanta sports team.
Yep.
All right.
This is your
So,
platform.
exactly. So we got our first month, in the books. So this next month is going to be real busy. Next week we're going to have Eric Quintana from Mouths of the South podcast. They do a lot of discussions and takes on Atlanta United. He's going to come on our show next week. Matter of fact, next week is the not the home opener, but it's the seasonal opener for MLS.
Yep.
So yes, so he's going to come on after the Atlanta United game, and he's going to talk about the Atlanta United with us. On the 11th, that's going to be a Monday. Normally we shoot our shows on Sunday evenings, but we made an exception. Sometimes we're going to make exceptions for some people who can't come on, like our special guests, if they can't come on Sundays. We'll just shoot. We'll live. We record live on Mondays. March 11th is a Monday. JT from the Nakamahoma Nation podcast. That's a Braves platform. He's going to come on and he's going to talk about the Braves. It's going to pretty much be in the middle of spring training. That'll be a great time for him to come on and talk about Braves. He give us his takes on the team. And on the 17th, I don't want to let the cat out the bag yet. We're going to have a special guest come on our show that time. So y'all just stay tuned. We have a lot of great guests coming on, and we have a lot of teams in our local market to talk about.
And for my college hoops teams, my college hoops fans, we didn't forget about you guys. Check Twitter once the brackets are released. I know we got a couple weeks. Once the brackets are released, I will put a bracket challenge for the FILA Sports podcast. I'll release it on Twitter so we can do our brackets in there. So our college hoops fans, we certainly need to forget about you guys, and our high school basketball fans as well. We're lining up one of the top knowledgeable guys in the city for high school basketball. We're going to have him on, I'm pretty sure, in the next couple of weeks as well. So my basketball fans, we didn't forget about you. We got something coming up for you guys.
Yes. So like I said, we have a lot of content coming out this next month. We're probably going to have some special episodes that we're going to end up shooting just in case, because free agency about to start as well. So even if we sign anybody, hopefully
mid-March. Mid-March, right? Yeah, March 15th or something like that. 7th, 15th, somewhere around in there. Mid-March free agency. Yeah,
a lot of things about to start picking up. So you guys just for the people who hasn't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. Everybody else, hit that like button. Hit the comment section up. Just please come holler at your hometown sports podcast. We really appreciate the support. So anything else you gotta say, Coach?
No man. No man, we see y'all. Holler at y'all next week. Hit us up on Twitter, send us some questions, come be on the show, be a part of it. It is your platform. That's all I got.
All right. With that, you guys, we out. Holler at y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Have a great week.